Hey guys, welcome back, everybody. Hello, and welcome back to Sarky Farmstead, friends and family of the internet, fellow watchers on the wall. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, drop down and chat. Tell me who you are, where you're watching from. Did you guys know this? So, we all know that September 10th will be etched in our minds of the assassination of Charlie Kirk. But did you guys know what happened on September 11th? Not only was there a shutdown of Annapolis, they shut the entire Naval Academy down for an active shooter. There was an active shooter on September 11th at a Colorado high school. The child's name was Desmond Holly. Desmond Holly. Let that sink in. Let his name sink in. Because I'm going to show you guys why things are so out of hand. So, a lot of people, if you read what the news put out about Desmond Holly, they said that on September 10th, it might have been on the 10th and not the 11th. Desmond Holly, a student in Evergreen High School in Jefferson County, Colorado, opened fire with a revolver, injuring two fellow students, and then passing away of a self-inflicted gun wound. Authorities confirmed three individuals, including Holly, were hospitalized with gunshot wounds. They said that he was radicalized by some extremist network. Now, here's the problem. If you type into Grok, so here's Grok citing bogus sources saying Desmond Holly, the school shooter in Colorado, on the day of Charlie Kirk's death, excuse me, so it was September 10th, was far right. Investigators later determined Holly had been radicalized by an extremist network potentially linked to far right ideologies, though the exact motive remains under view. Guys, this kid, father, was trans. Okay. Come out, trans. Not only that, he legitimately hated Trump. His father's name was Holly. Morgan Holly. And 4 days before the shooting, he put out information about who would become the next president of the United States. If the president was assassinated, then it would be the vice president, the speaker of the House, and he went all the way through. And he said it outlines the order in which officials would assume the presidency if the president is unable to fulfill their duties, whether due to death, resignation, removal from office, or incapacity. And then his son commits this heinous act on a school campus. This is the little boy. He's young. He's young. And they admitted that an extremist group radicalized this kid. Now, here's my question for all of you guys. What's the difference? Because this is now Winter Holly. Instead of Morgan Holly, that's Winter. Right there. That's his dad coming out. Okay? So he's a cross-dresser, if nothing else. So you've got Tyler Robinson, who has been linked in, was living with a trans-identified lover. You've got this kid in Colorado, same day. His dad just came out of the closet, and he hated Trump. All their social media, just the most horrific things you've ever seen. Then you had another school shooting with the Catholic incident. Everybody remembers that in Minneapolis. Another trans kid. When Charlie Kirk was assassinated, what was he discussing? School shootings. And he said there were too many of this type of people involved in those. I think that this has been overlooked a lot because of the hurt and the anger that we're all feeling where Charlie Kirk is concerned. We're looking to blame somebody for this, friends and family of the internet. Like we are. We want something to be punished for this. Hey, Miss Marty. But I think that we need to remember, we really do, that it's the ideology, it's the demonic forces behind these shooters that we have to focus in on. When you go back and you look on X, everybody quotes Charlie Kirk. There's all these smart alecky people saying, well, Charlie Kirk says guns save lives. And, you know, he was assassinated by one. But here's my question for all these people who want to remove 2A rights from people. How are we supposed to protect ourselves? Where I live, it takes the police 15 to 20 minutes to get here in an emergency. And I'm talking like the house is burning down. There's someone breaking into my house. Somebody's having a heart attack. You're talking 15 to 25 minutes for the police to arrive where I live. So in that period of time, am I supposed to have no way to protect myself? Because I wouldn't harm anybody. Most of you that believe in the 2A rights would not harm anybody. The last 3 shootings have all been connected to this ideology that is obviously people who are mentally ill. And nobody really wants to talk about that. They want to talk about who is the man in the white hat, which we debunked earlier. That was Charlie Kirk's pastor. They want to blame it on Israel. They want to blame it on this person. And you want to make it so big because that's interesting, right? And it keeps people watching. So these content creators that are not just going to sit down and say, look, we have a real problem in this country right now. What is that problem? Our kids are sick. You've got MK Ultra. You've got Project Mockingbird. You had the repealing of the Smith-Mundt Act by Barack Obama, which gave, the CIA and the federal government permission to just lie to all of Americans. I had a liberal had several of them come on underneath that short where the young girl on TikTok is saying, please, President Trump, reinstate the Smith-Mundt Act. Please reinstate it. Name it the Charlie Kirk Act. This one woman is like, no, Fox lies. And then she comes underneath somebody else's comment and says, no, 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 you maggots. But that is how liberals behave. This is supposed to be the tolerant group, right? The accepting group. But truly, more people are leaving the Democrat Party than ever before. They're watching their politicians. They're watching their university educators. They're watching their doctors cheer online for the death of an innocent man. And they're starting to wake up. Hey, Dane and Cameron. Yeah, I actually responded to you. Just drop your email address back in the mail. You don't have to send me money. Just send me your email address. Somehow I got lost. That happens. I apologize. Just write me a quick letter and drop it into the mailbox tomorrow with your email address, okay? And I'll make sure that it gets taken care of. But guys, I just wanted to say, did you know that the day Charlie Kirk was assassinated, there was another school shooting? And it did involve another trans ideological person. And I think this is a real problem in this country. We can't keep ignoring it. You cannot continue to blame it on gun violence. We have got to sit down. And here's the issue with the freedom of speech. YouTube does not pay me because they're a private company. They don't pay me because I offended somebody talking about how I feel about trans, right? Well, that's YouTube's business. But right now, social media will not, TikTok especially, Facebook too, will not let people have honest discussions about this ideology that is turning our kids into self-absorbed, self-centered little brats. And until we discuss it, really discuss it, and admit, again, that this is not normal behavior. Men cannot be women. No matter how you want to dress, no matter how you want to put your lipstick on and your little fake nails and get your boob jobs, it can't happen. You cannot be a woman. Exactly, Mindhunter. It shows you who runs YouTube. Until we have these hard conversations, we're going to continue to see the violence ramp up. You're giving young people hormones. A boy should never be taking estrogen. A female should never be taking testosterone at the levels they're taking them. And we're wondering why it's ramping up. Look, folks, people have a hard time putting themselves in other people's shoes. But in the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s, we carried weapons in our vehicles into the school parking lot and left our vehicles unlocked. Loaded weapons. I know, mind blowing, right? We also all carried pocket knives. There was never that type of violence, ever. But we weren't propagandized. We weren't radicalized at all. It wasn't allowed. We were forced to obey our teachers and our parents. We were actually educated properly. But now you've changed everything. Congratulations. I know the Department of Education has changed everything. It is one big psyop, and it has failed miserably. It is time. It is time to go back to the way things were. Take the Department of Education out of the hands of the federal government. Take it out of the hands of the federal government. You have failed. Put it back into communities' hands. For the past, I've been an educator. I have been a certified school teacher since 2005. In the past 20 plus years, folks, teachers went from majority Christian, married, God-fearing, loving people to an array of the rainbow. We have a rainbow. We have the alphabet soup teaching our children now. When I was an educator, while we were working to become school teachers, we could be kicked out of the program for anything. If your good name was questioned, they could stop you from becoming a licensed educator because they understood what was required of someone who had the minds of children in their hands. Now they don't do that. Now you've got teachers coming to school dressed as the opposite sex, confusing children, discussing sex with kids. That's gross. You've tried your experiment. That's what this has been, and it has failed. We have the most angry, hateful group of kids I've ever seen in my life. But all is not lost. I'm just saying. This was, Jesus I didn't say Jesus taught people to fear God, sweetie. Thank you, Dana and Cameron. I'm just saying, I think that it's being overlooked. Nobody really wants to talk about the problem. It's so much more fun to talk about who was standing by Charlie Kirk and what signals were they making and what about the plane that took off in the Ukraine and this person and all, and the cell phone gun. Stop with all that and let's talk about these people that are doing this. I agree. It started from atheism. Yes. Let's talk about how our kids are told that there's no moral code. It's a spiritual battle and we're losing. We're losing America. And who are we losing? We're losing our kids. We're losing our kids. That is what Charlie Kirk fought for. Were the minds of kids. He questioned how they thought in a way that made them realize that what they were claiming couldn't be true. You should be afraid of God. Yeah, it's in the Bible. That's part of the problem with America. People don't have a healthy fear of God. They don't fear anything anymore. Just because you love Jesus doesn't mean that you should not have a healthy fear of God. I'm just saying, I just would like to see a real honest conversation about how these kids who are doing these shootings come from left-wing families, left-wing ideology, trans influenced every time. So you've got trans Tifa somewhere, but you're not going to see that on social media very much because they won't pay content creators who talk about it. They'll shadow ban them. They'll take their channels down and they'll stop paying them. And people being paid is the most important thing for most of these people. That is why they continue to come up with new evidence and new pictures and new videos to keep you coming back. And I'm sorry it's that way. I did a post the other day. I said, this social media is going to destroy our entire civilization because social media influencers only do it to make $1. And when they quit getting paid, they cancel that page and start a new one, and they learn. You know what I'm saying? They learn their mistakes and they don't go there again. Oh, TikTok is horrible. It's horrible. That's another reason people are shocked on the left that they're getting in trouble, because they never get in trouble. Their channels never get banned because the people that own these social media platforms are left-leaning. Every one of them. So I just wanted to share that. Ask you guys, Growing Under a Poison Sky. You can get it on Amazon. Don't forget to pick your book up. And if you'd like to support our channel and what we do here with The Truth, look in the top of comments at the end of this live. Even if you send $1, it'd make a huge difference. I have to go, guys. I've got to cook supper for my husband. But when I heard about this shooting, I didn't even pay enough attention to it because I was focused on the Charlie Kirk. But I wanted to bring it out to you guys. I wanted to say, let's overlook this. Okay, it's like 3 in a month. 3 kids influenced by the left and the left ideology, unaliving people, and it's not okay. It's not okay. We need the Smith-Mundt Act back in place. We need to clamp down on this ideology. There is something called freedom of speech, and I'm a freedom of speech absolutist. I'm not a propagandist believer. If you understand that how the CIA has influenced American politics and how the American people think, you would understand why I'm telling y'all this has to stop. It has to, or our entire country is done. This, you've heard that, the shot heard around the world. Yeah, this is that right now. We're in that moment, friends and family. We're in that moment. So you guys be blessed tonight. Be safe out there.